So this is how I make my breakfast every morning. I typically use Quaker steel cut oats, whether it's the 1 minute or 3 minute brand. And then I've also been trying Hodgson Mills oat bran, and I actually really like it as well. I do about a third of a cup of oatmeal, no matter which brand says what in the instructions. Um, and then I will do a fourth a cup of egg whites. And the egg whites really just act as a filler. It's extra protein and it keeps me full longer than just regular oatmeal. And so I dump that in there because then I also just use water to fill the difference. I think the Hodgson Mill asks for a whole cup of water with a fourth of a cup of oats, but that's a little bit too watery for me. So I do 3/4 of a cup of liquid, 1/4 of a cup being the egg whites. And then I throw that in the microwave for a minute. And then after a minute, I take it out and stir it. And then I microwave it for an additional 30 seconds. That's what it looks like once it's done. And then lately, I've been adding Sprouts pumpkin spice almond butter. So good. And then I also put a little bit of Himalayan pink salt in it as well. I like it a little bit salty. And then I also add a teaspoon of maple syrup. I try to do less than a teaspoon if I can. This was not a good example. Um, it just sweetens it up a little bit. And frankly, maple syrup, as long as you buy an organic, pure brand, is better for you than stevia or agave or anything like that. Just because those things are more processed than you think they are, and maple syrup is a little bit more pure. And then here is what the MyFitnessPal screenshot looks like. I do use this app to track my macros and my calories. And then this is what the finished oatmeal looks like. This is what a typical lunch looks like for me if I prep salad for the week. I used baby spinach from Trader Joe's, and I marinated chicken in this balsamic honey dressing, which I also topped the salad with. The macros on this dressing are pretty good, and it doesn't have too much crap in the ingredients, which is honestly hard to find in a dressing. And then I added strawberries and slivered almonds to the salad as well. And then I got kind of hungry while I was meal prepping. That's a caramel rice cake with almond butter. That's something that I would typically eat as a snack at work. So this week, what I prepped for dinner was something that I actually usually eat for lunch. But since I was having salads, I decided to make this for dinner. It's usually just rice, bison, and then carrots. Sometimes I'll add peppers in there as well. I went through a phase where I did the vertical diet, which is basically some kind of lean red meat and a rice, and then what they call low gas vegetables. Typically carrots, peppers, no broccoli. I will link the list of those vegetables below. But as you can see, I'm just making white rice. I typically do white jasmine rice. And then I buy our bison from Costco because it's cheaper there. It's a little bit more expensive than ground beef at Harris Teeter. And then I will season it with this Mrs. Dash garlic and herb, and then also onion powder and garlic powder. And then I actually boil my carrots. You just throw them in the pot, cover them with water. I also add Trader Joe's seasoning salt, and then you just bring them to a boil and cook them for about 11 to 12 minutes. And then I cook my bison exactly the same as I would cook ground beef. I portion out my rice somewhere between a third of a cup and a half of a cup, depending on how many carbs I'm going to have that day. This is what the finished product usually looks like. I always top it with Trader Joe's, everything but the bagel seasoning. Sometimes I will do coconut aminos, which are a good substitute for soy sauce, or I will do like a garlic aioli mustard that has really good macros. And then this is it. I also wanted to add a few other examples of things that I do eat for dinner. This is a red lentil pasta from Trader Joe's and chicken meatballs along with a Trader Joe's basil marinara sauce. This night we had salmon along with mashed sweet potatoes, a kale salad, and then we cracked an egg in there for a little bit of extra protein. This was from a recipe that I'd actually found on Instagram. It was roasted chicken with roasted green beans and broccoli, and then I also did a mashed cauliflower. I will link that recipe below. I hope this video gave you guys some good ideas for some healthy meals. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.